In stature, the children belonging to the works are equal to most others, not connected with those establishments. But as they arrive at adult age, those that are exposed to the strong fires at the works acquire the appearance of premature old age.
They both work at night, every other week, and they work hard enough, but not more than they're able. They are very seldom sick, but the little one Tom has had a ruptured hernia. I got a truss for him from the surgeon, Mr. Steele, but it did not serve, so I made one myself, which is better, and the little chap does very well now.
We fill limestone into the barrels and help to push them into the furnace.
We don't go near the fire. We're not tired when we get home from work, and we're very sick very seldom. We go to Sunday school, but I can't read much.
I have not seen girls or boys much abused here, and they are very well, for that the boys and girls often swear and use bad language underground. I think the little girls are worse for that than the boys. The old, staid men check them and put the whip on them for it, sometimes. But they do not mind the young men.
Our work is hard and dangerous between the horses and trams, and we are used to it and save ourselves from hurt. A strange boy could not drive in the colliery. We would seldom lose any time from sickness. The colliery is wet and dirty along the roads, and our feet are always wet. But we are used to that, and all the boys and men the same.
Work very hard, but they don't very often work in hot places.
We do not think that many of the girls about the forges can read. Some of them are dreadful, rude and swear and fight worse than boys.
Dragging out and working behind the rolls is very hard work and very hot. We sometimes quite lose our breath at it. We work with the hot bars all round us, and we have not many spells to get air.
The dragger out often burn themselves and lose some days or a week, but they have not much sickness.
I work in the forge pulling the door of the boiling furnace. I work the same time as the men. I do not know what I get. I work for the boiler. My father works in the forge. I do not know my age. I cannot say whether I am 8 years old or not. I only go to Sunday school and I can only say the spelling of 2 letters.
I keep the gate at the forge yard. I went to work at the forge when I was 6 years old, and about 3 years ago I lost my right arm in the rolls. It was taken off near the socket. I was hooking up behind the rolls and I fell down and my arm was drawn in. I was a long time ill, but I'm well now. I go to the chapel and the Sunday school sometimes when I have time. I cannot go always, for the locomotive engine travels through the gate on Sunday with the cinders from the forges to the furnaces. I can read a little.
I work on the mine bank picking for Richard Evan. I work for him. He has the work by the dozen. He gives me my meat and clothes and a little money, perhaps a shilling in a month. My father does not live at home. He's a labourer and has 5 children. There are 4 at home now. I have worked for Richard Evan for a year. He wanted a little girl for a servant and to work for him about 12 o'clock. I have an hour for dinner. I do not work at night, no on the level. I like my work very well and I have good health. I did not lose any days. I was never in day school, but I fought to the Sunday school. I tried to learn but cannot read yet.
They are taken to work about 8 to 10 years of age and work generally at 12 hours at the option of their parents and who they are employed. The workmen's houses are generally good but rather confined, but there are exceptions. Some places are very bad, I must say filthy. There are about 12 houses inhabited by 10 or 12 families each, principally the Irish, with 4 or 5 beds in a room of poor description. 2 or 3 must sleep in a bed. On holidays such as Christmas Day and Good Friday, the pastimes are very varied, but the men spend their time generally in drunkenness. I should suppose the practice of employing young girls and young women in the mines must render them less fit for domestic duties. In many cases, it renders them morally very low and lax. I know several instances of very immoral and ignorant states they are in.
I think that the work of the forges injurious to the constitutions of both the boys and the girls that begin work at night in winter particularly. It certainly stints their growth and decreases their strength, but the work they are accustomed to in the forges, they are capable of undergoing great fatigue. I do not know that they have any particular complaints from their employment, but they frequently have inflammatory complaints of pleurisy, and I do not think that many of them will live to be old men.
Our work is not very hard, but we get tired at the end of the term. We like the night term better than the day.
Our father is a puddler and he has a large family and we have a brother working for him. He is older than us and our father and brother get 48 shillings per week. We have good clothes at home.
No accidents have happened to us except to burn ourselves a little now and then. We have never been in a day school and cannot read.
I am a helper at the furnace and I help the filler to fill the limestone. I have been working half a year and have been playing about the furnace for 2 years. I never was at school. My father is an Irishman. I am never sick and I always here from 6 o'clock in the morning to the time they change again at 6. I work at night with the filler every Sunday or Sunday night.
I keep a door in the collieries at Evan Jones's pit. I have been working for a year. My father is a collier and he comes from Llanidloes. He has 4 children. I was in school at Llanidloes and I could read Welsh, but I cannot read much now. I have met with no serious accidents, but my father was hurt in the pit where I am. The trams broke his arm by the horses going rash. He was driving it. I was with him at the time. It was 4 months ago. He is not quite well yet. The door I keep is nearly a mile from the pit, but I come down to the pit with the trams and the hauliers 4 or 5 times a day. I would rather go to school than the works if I could. There are no good schools here. I was in one for 4 months, and that is the school I had for 4 years except Sunday schools. I go to them every Sunday. There are more girls than boys in the pit with me.
I was working the week before last in the coal level, filling trams. I worked with my brother-in-law, but he does not want me now. I have another older than me working with him. My father and mother are dead. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. She is married to a collier here. We came from here. I was in the national school there. I was afterwards in service at a shop there. I have been 3 months here. I expect to go to work again next week. When I went to work, I left the house at 4 o'clock, or from that to 6, and came back about 4 in the evening. I took some bread and cheese with me and ate it when I liked. My sister will not let me go to Sunday school here. I have got no clothes that are good enough. I can read a little English, but not much.